Here we have an Xbox Series X that came in for a ripped HDMI connector. I mentioned this Xbox motherboard in a previous video, and I told you that we're going to be working on it. And this motherboard only has one pad left. Whoever worked on it managed to rip off all the pads except for one. And that's amazing, right? Amazing. Look at this. We have to restore how many pads? We have to restore 19 pads on this board. A lot of work. But we're going to charge the customer. If the customer want to mail over the motherboard like this, we're going to fix it, but they're going to end up paying a lot of money. We're going to charge for the repair plus every pad that we solder on that board. I mean, the amount of time it would take to repair this Xbox, I could be doing 3-4 other devices. So it's really not worth it unless we are getting paid for it. And the customer agreed. We told him that it's going to cost you that much to fix it, and he agreed. He said, go ahead and do it. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Now for this repair, we're going to try out version 2 of the grinding pen. I mentioned it in yesterday's video that we got version 2 of the grinding pen right here. We already have it posted on our site. And we emailed all the customers who had notify me when that grinding pen is back in stock. So we did. And inside the packaging, you will find the pen. You will find the charging cable and 7 bits. Now, what's the difference between version 1 and version 2? Few things. Minor, not major, but one of the main differences between this and version 1 is the ergonomics on this one. It feels a lot better in the hand. And number 2, the tip. We no longer have to unscrew the nut to put the bit in and then rescrew it again. Every time I wanted to change a bit, I have to get the hex screwdriver that they included in the package. I have to unscrew it, remove it, insert another bit, and then tighten again. With this one, we do not have to do that. We can just plug in, take out, plug in, take out. No need to screw or unscrew. Ergonomics, battery life improved. Even though on version 1 of the grinding pen, the battery lasts for such a long time. Maybe I charge it once every 3 months, and I use it every day. I use it almost every day. It takes very little power. And I mean, I do not keep the button pressed in for an hour. I use it to scrape off the mask off a trace. Few seconds, I shut it off and I put it on the side. And that's why maybe the battery lasts for such a long time. You can charge the battery with USB-C, and charging is very fast. I know this from version 1 of the grinding pen, but this is the new and improved version 2. It's called NF.V2, NorthridgeFix version 2. If you look at the pen itself, you can see it's a version 2, and this one was customized for us. So if we press the power button once, that's speed 1, 2, 3. I'm pressing the button and off. Now, if you press on the power button and let it go for a few seconds and you try to switch to speed 2, it's not going to work out. It's going to shut off. So you have to do it right away. 1, 2, 3, off. If you do it once and then you try to switch to speed 2, it's too late. It will turn off. All right, so that's how the pen looks like. And let's go ahead and insert a bit. Usually I use the 0.6 or the 0.8 bit. And what we're going to do is insert that bit like this. Like I said, we do not have to screw or unscrew anything. Insert and done. We're done. See, very easy. And that's what I love about this version 2 of the pen. And now if we go under the microscope, we're going to start by grinding those traces so we can solder new pads. We're going to use pad strips number 2 or number 4 to restore the pads. But the good news is we do not have to restore the pad in the middle or that pad that's already on there. So, whew, time saver. We do not have to restore this pad right here. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? I mean, look at the grinding on those pads. And that shows you the precision of the bit. And we're gonna get rid of the glare. And look at that image. I'm sure you noticed some difference between version 1 and version 2 of the microscope. I'm sure a lot of you noticed the difference. Version 1 is an awesome scope, but this one got better. We may have to grind a bit more on the bottom. And maybe here. I mean, look at that precision. When you first use the grinding pen, it may be a bit intimidating, where you do not feel comfortable working with it. But once you get used to it, your hands will be so precise on the tiniest trace, like this one here. I consider the Xbox Series X trace to be one of the tiniest I've worked on. Or maybe I've worked on a tinier one on a Dell laptop and Alienware, the keyboard lines. You can look up that video, Alienware keyboard. Just search NorthridgeFix keyboard, Dell or Alienware. And I worked with such small lines, maybe the same size or maybe just a tiny bit smaller. And this guy looks like he want to go to the 9th dimension, but I'm gonna keep him. I'm not gonna remove him. Just stay here. You're my only hope. Just stay here, because I do not want to have to do a lot of work. And this guy is gonna keep me from doing all that work. We only have 18 pads that we need to solder. But if that guy was out, then we have to do 19. And that would really break my back. Let's tin those pads one more time. And now we have more solder on the bottom. And we should be good. Now all we have to do is grab pad strips. And we're gonna be using pad strips 2 or pad strips 4, and both of them are in stock. We've been out for the past 3 weeks, but we do have them back in stock. And I use these every single day. Now we're gonna grab pad strip number 2. That pad is really getting in the way. And I just feel like ripping that pad out and putting a new one, but I don't want to do that. I want to teach it a lesson, because it thinks that it's bothering me. I'm trying to think that it's not, but let's see who has more patience, me or that pad. I mean, right now everything is gonna look like a mess, but just wait for the end result. I feel like the tweezer I'm using is a bit too big for the job, and I do not know where I placed my precision tweezer, but I just grabbed another one. This one is anti-overpressure, so even if you squeeze it too hard, it has a guard, so you do not damage it. I'm just breaking the seal, because every tweezer comes sealed in a packaging like this, hard case packaging. So even if your package was mishandled, nothing will happen to that tweezer. And inside that packaging, you have this. And let me show you how the protection looks like on that tweezer. It's this right here. You see that thing that you see in the center? So this will prevent you from pressing too hard on that tweezer. Let's take a look at the tip. And this one should go to the left. That pad. Okay, I think it's time for that pad to go away. The pad 1. I did not want to take it out, but what can you do? The pad 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now I'm applying UV light. Let's wait. And then we'll do the next step. By the way, I'm using a different light. We got sent this light as a sample. I'll show it to you. And I want to see how it does. It looks something like this. We have over 45 items that we received to sample, but I did not have the time to look into them yet. But I thought, let me try this one right now since we are working with UV mask. I love our 10 watt UV lamp, but let's see how that one did. Looks like it did awesome. But we're gonna apply a little bit of hot air to make everything perfect. Just like that. Beautiful, beautiful, very nice. So how many more pads do we have to restore? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pads. 19 pads. Let's go ahead and apply UV light. We're gonna wait about a minute. All right, amazing. Looks very nice. Right now it's almost 8 p.m. and I'm still at the shop, but I just want to get this over with and then go home. We're gonna apply low melt solder and then we're gonna wick all 4 holes. And we're gonna use the help of hot air. Let's flip the board. Maybe we can do it from the back. Hole number 1 is already desoldered thanks to low melt solder. And let's remove this one. We also have low melt solder here, so it should not take a lot of time to desolder this one. And that's the magic of using low melt solder. I love it. I cannot get over how detailed this microscope is. I mean, I'm enjoying this work, even though it's a lot of work, but I'm enjoying it because of the quality of the microscope. Everything is so detailed. We're gonna flip the board and look and see what's going on. Back of the board. Right there. So now this pin here, the pad is a bit far, but that's okay, we can fix it. Pin number 2 is solid. Pin number 3 is solid. Pin number 4 is solid. Solid. And you can tell the pin is moving along with the pad. Solid. 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 Very nice. Wow. All the pins are solid. When I say solid, I mean making a connection with the pad strip under it. Solid. 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 Wow. So we only have one pad that is loose. I mean, honestly, that's a mission impossible job. And I do not think I'm gonna take another one like this. The next time we get an HDMI connector with 19 missing pads, I'm saying no. So the pad strip is connecting with the pin. Very nice. The pad is moving along with the pin. And amazing. We did an absolutely amazing job. And like I said, mission impossible job. But we did it. Can we make this last pin look any nicer? We can. But it's making a connection. I mean, really, we have a piece of art here. Why ruin it? You think at this point we care about how every pad looks? As long as it's functional, we're good. So there you go. We made it better than factory. And some of you may be laughing, but like I said in the previous video, even if it's not better than factory, it's still better than factory. The important thing is this microscope is awesome. And for those who have not watched the previous video where I went over the NorthridgeFix version 2 microscope, just go back one video and watch it. If you want to buy one, just log into NorthridgeFix.com, click on shop, and add whatever tools you need to the shopping cart, check out, and we almost always ship out same day. We have everything: soldering stations, hot air stations, power supplies, thermal cameras, solder, grinding pan. We have version 2 of the grinding pan, and we used it to work on this board. Everything. We need to solder the back. We're gonna apply hot air so solder can flow all the way down. But right now we're just doing it at the surface. Awesome. Now we're gonna use our soldering iron so we can make better than factory joints, and this time for real. And let's check the connector from the front and look at how solder flew all the way to the front. And that connector is solid and it's not going anywhere. We do not have to worry about the front pins getting loose because the connector is soldered from all 4 legs, and solder flew all the way from back of the board to front of the board. Very, very solid connector. We're done. And that's how the connector is looking like. All right, and that's it. We're gonna end the video right here. Let me know what you think about the surgery and the piece of art that we just created. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.